Hello there and welcome from our Ranger YouTube studio here from Chiang Mai, Thailand. And I'm happy to talk with you today about mentoring. Well, mentoring, someone will call it like coaching, or even other will say like, hey, that sounds for me like discipling. Well, however you will call it in your church, but this will be my topic, and I will say this is one of the most important topics what we should talk through if we really want to build up young people. So let's roll the intro and start with the video. Let me start with Moses. He was an amazing man of God. And to be honest, like so close as he who was ever to God, because he was standing there and God in his holy fire, he said, hey, Moses, put off your shoes. And they had a talk and God gave Moses the 10 Commandments. That is so amazing. And we see how God was talking not only once, but he was talking several times to Moses. And he had really such a close relationship to God. So when we could say like, whoever could be on the level or even on a higher level than Moses is. Actually, that was a quite high level. But there is this interesting and nice story what happens that his father-in-law, Jethro, he was sitting there and he was just observing what Moses was doing. So what happened that was that all the Jewish people, whenever they had fights and problems, they always went to Moses, and Moses had to clarify and to judge all these people and do all the work. So his father-in-law, he saw that Moses, he was working from the morning till the evening. So after he observed him and he saw what he's doing, he said, Moses, we have to have a talk because this is not smart what you're doing. So listen to me. Take one person and put him over 1,000 people. So whenever one person have a problem, he shall come first of all to this person. And then in the next level, take one person and put it over 100, and take one person and put him over 50, and then even take one person and put him over 10. So in the end, you will only take care of the really big cases, what no one can solve, but you get really rid of all the headaches and all these small and stupid fights, because this is not your job and you should focus on something completely different. So what happened here is that his father-in-law, even he never had maybe this talk with God, but he was coaching, he was mentoring Moses, and he were telling him how to do things better. And this is the idea of mentoring. It is about observing a person, seeing what is he doing, and thinking about how could I consult this person so that he can do things even better. And this is where we want to have a talk about, because mentoring, and this is how I will call it, so that you don't get confused between coaching, mentoring, discipling. So I will just stick to mentoring. I like that word, but feel free however you want to call that later in your outpost. So let's have a look a little bit into mentoring. Mentoring is something where we want to build people stronger. And it is also something where we want to show them something what they don't see. So I want to share with you one model. It's called the Johari window, and it shows us 4 areas. So there is an area where you know something, so you have the knowledge, and also someone else has the knowledge. So let me give you an example. So you say, I'm good in organization, And your commander also knows you are good in organization. So this is part number one. Both people know. But there is a part where you know, but someone else doesn't know. So maybe, for example, you know, like, wow, I have a dream. I want to be a doctor, but you never shared this dream to anyone. So your commander doesn't know you want to be a doctor. And there is the third part where you don't know, but the commander knows. So, for example, the commander knows you are talking much too much and you are a quiet shadow box. And once you are talking, you don't give anyone else the chance to talk. But yourself, you never figured that out. And you thought, like, oh, actually, I'm a nice talking person. Everyone is here in the room. We are all talking equal, but this is not the case because he knows something about you, what you are not realizing or what you don't know. And there is even part number 4 where the commander doesn't know and you also don't know, and maybe you will figure that out. When we do mentoring, we want to bring knowledge to people who has unknowledge. So in one case, you are sharing, for example, you're sitting together as mentor and you're mentoring a person. So you are sharing to him some wisdoms, what you see, what you can see at this person, but he doesn't have. But on the other side, this person is now sharing also his dreams, his ideas, what you never know that this person had. So bringing these two persons together, it brings in knowledge. So let me clarify another word, and this is the mentee. So we have on one side, we have the mentor. On the other side, we have the mentee. So the mentee, he's the person who's receiving like advices from the mentor. And now is the job of the mentor is really to observe the mentee and to help him in many areas of his life to grow. When we talk about discipling, the discipling is more focused on biblical topics. But as mentor, we want to cover actually every area of your life. And this is the reason why I enjoy to say much more the word mentor, because it covers a little bit more. One main thing what we have to understand when we are doing mentoring is that mans are mentoring mans and girls are mentoring girls. Because once we start mentoring and we dip into areas where it goes a little bit deeper, it won't work anymore that a man is talking with a girl or a lady is talking with a boy. So this is quite important. We have to follow that. Otherwise, it can get really uncomfortable. And also, we have to understand, especially here in the Asian culture, that we really follow these rules. So now let me give some advices for the mentor and let's have a look how he should start this whole thing. So first of all, if you want to mentor a person, you have to start building up a trust for this person. So you have to have a good relationship to the person, because once you talk with him about topics, you also want to dip a little bit deeper maybe in his life and help him really figure things out. And for that, you need trust, and there must be an open relationship where the mentee is also sharing to you. The second thing is that you have to show interest to the mentee. It is not like, hey, come on, we do like one mentor talk and you do one mentor talk and then a half year, nothing happened. And the mentee thinks like, oh, I was quite impressed. I had my first mentor talk, but after that, nothing happened anymore. So you really have to show interest. And that means once you start mentoring a person, you have to work constantly with this person together. And later on, I will share how often you will meet or you should meet the mentee. The other thing is that you also take over a spiritual part for this person, that you start praying for this person because you understand where is he standing, what are his needs, where are his challenges right now. And you should carry this person also in your prayer, and also ask God that God gives you wisdom, that you can really consult this person good, that you give him exact the right advices what he should do next. To be available, this is another important thing for you as mentor. So once you have a mentee, you let him know and say, you know what, I am always available for you. Whenever you have a need, whenever there is a problem or something is going on, hey, you can always knock on my door. You always can give me a call. I will be there. And this is something what should characterize a mentor, that the mentee really understands, wow, this is like a spiritual father for me. This is like someone who is really paying attention to my life and looking in each and every area so that I can grow stronger and I really become in everything a better person. As second thing, let us talk a little bit about where should you meet and where should this mentor talk happen. So my advice is really that you do this in front of an outpost. So before you have a briefing, this is a good timing where you could have mentor talks. And also after the feedback round, if nothing is happening after an outpost, also put it in there. Why is it good? Because you are building up a good culture where people around you are seeing, hey, as commander, you are doing these mentor talks. So it is good that you have a good place where everyone knows, oh, the commander is having right now his mentor talk, and no one will disrupt you, and they will just let you finish your talk. And this is something where the people see it will already create something in them where they say like, wow, even the young ranger, they think like, if they see that, wow, one day I will maybe have this mentor talk with our commander or with someone else. And this makes it to something normal, so that also everyone else who will start having these talks with the commander, that they are not afraid and like, oh my God, what is happening? The commander want to have a talk with me? No, much more they understand this is something normal. The commander is interested in my life, and I have the opportunity to share about my life. So once you have these talks, it can also happen that you have sometimes topic where you realize, oh, it's a little bit more sensible, and where you think like, this is not the best place to have it before or after an outpost. So totally okay to say, okay, come on, let's switch the places. Let's go to another area. And here my advice is to you, just be somewhere like half public. Let me call it like that. So somewhere where you still have your privacy, but on the other way, where there is a quiet protection for everyone so that it doesn't bring you in a stupid situation. I think you know what I mean, especially when we are having talks with younger ranger, like expedition ranger, we are trying to mentor them and coaching them so that we have like, we don't never go in a room where we close it completely and no one can see in. So much more, there is a good protection for both sides so that we take this really, really serious. Wherever you meet, you shall have the chance to build up a good atmosphere. You know, if you want to have the mentee that he opens up and you talk, then it is good to have a good atmosphere. So one thing how you can create a good atmosphere is just bringing a cup of tea with you or a coffee for the person, or just having like a small snack, something like that. So I'm not talking about a candlelight dinner or anything like that, but sometimes it is just easier. Hey, everyone has something to drink and it doesn't feel like, okay, we're just sitting there and we are just talking. And maybe you as commander, you also have a quite long list and you're just writing stuff down. This will make the atmosphere maybe a little bit more like, yeah, uncomfortable for the mentee. So let us work that we have a really great atmosphere, that we build something where everyone will feel super, super comfortable. How to start the first mentor talk. So whenever you want to start with your first mentor talk, it will be, first of all, like, hey, start with easy topics. Don't go in too deep and say like, okay, come on, today we want to talk about your problems. And by the way, I observed this and that and that. So just start really easy. Like, hey, how is it going? What is going on in the school? How is your relationship to your team with the other team leaders? And one question, what is really amazing to start for the beginning or to end for your first session is to ask the person, what is your dream? So this is such an important question because it's also a door opener. And if you ask this and you're really interested and you listen what the person is sharing, then it will mean a lot to him because not everyone is asking this question. Even sometimes parents are not asking their children anymore, what is your dream? But much more, they are giving them their dream, what they want them to be. But here we will turn it around and we will ask, what is your dream? And how are you working on that already? Can I help you? Can I support you with that? So this is something how you can work and how you can start into your first mentor talk. In your second session, what you have with your mentee, you can jump into the ranger topic. So how is it going with your ranger team? How is it going, for example, with your assistant team leader or with your team leader? How are things going with the task I gave you? Do you have any question about that? And then it will be already maybe an opportunity where you can already share and give some advice to say, hey, see, just try this for the next time with your team. And maybe you try this one here in this area. I made there already some good experience, so that you show and you really help the mentee how he can grow in some areas. And just end the second meeting where you can ask the person and the team leader or the person you're mentoring, what are your dreams also for a ranger? What would you like to do? And maybe you will hear the first time, oh, I would like to build up a ranger homepage, or I would like to do ranger videos or something different. And these informations, they can be so important for you because now you are getting some things and some dreams and ideas. And now something interesting is happening because now you're getting a feedback from your leaders, what they would like to do. And this can be quite interesting because now you understand them even more. And the next time when you are planning a project or whatever, you exactly know, wow, this person could fit into this team and he could help us in this area or in that area. So once you started this whole thing with meeting with your mentee and you had your first session, you had your second session, and now you think like, oh, I'm running out a little bit of material. Well, there is a good news because we have something what we call like a long list with many, many, many topics where you can go through. You will find for this list the download link below the video description. And there are a bunch of topics where you can talk about. And you will see for all these topics, we already put them together in different parts, like where you say like, this could be a part where you talk one time, the next time you're talking about this part. And let me just jump into a few from these topics. So there are, for example, the gifts of the Spirit, where we can talk about them and we can ask, hey, how is it going? Do you feel like joy in your life? Do you feel like peace in your life? And also what we will do here, we will just ask them, how do you feel about these things? How would you rank yourself in this area? And then we give them also a feedback how we are ranking them in this area. Then it goes over to management skills. You have a lot of things where it goes into personality, it goes into character, it goes to ranger skills, and you can go through all these areas wherever you think this matches right now mostly for the leader. You also don't have to follow the list from starting in the highest point, going it through down, but much more, you have to put this program really individual for each and every leader and mentee. So really be wise what you're doing. And one big advice what I have, don't fill it up with too much. So once you have a topic for this day, you just focus on this topic and don't take too many new topics in. Otherwise, it can get a little bit stressful. How long should such a mentor talk goes? Well, in the beginning, you start slowly. And there are definitely also some topics where you are maybe after 15, 20 minutes, you're done. And there are other topics where it will take you like a whole hour or even longer, where you will have to talk through and you have to go through all these things. So I wouldn't put any timeline, but I would say what you have to calculate whenever you start such a mentor talk, you will always need in the beginning like 5 minutes, 10 minutes time, also like an icebreaker. And the second part, what will happen before you jump into the new topic, you will also have a look. Hey, what were we talking the last time about? And did I give you any homework, any to-dos about that? And can we follow up with that? So how is it going? For example, the last time you were talking about forgiveness, and your mentee told you, well, I'm still didn't forgive my father because, yeah, he ran away, he got divorced from my mom, and you ended the session and there was agreement like, okay, come on, you write a letter to your father and send it to him. So you meet now for the next session, and then you will say like, hey, did you send your father this letter? And then maybe he will say, yes, I did that. But maybe he will also say, no, I didn't do that. And then, well, just keep your agenda on your side and ask what happened. Why didn't you do that? Because we don't want to go forward with the next topic as long the last one is still not done. But once it is done, then you say, perfect, hey, come on, let's focus on the next area. So you have the next area, you talk it through, and then you end the session with some homeworks, because we want to work with these with our mentees and we want to grow them. And let me take another example. So you are talking right now about Bible and Bible reading. And your mentee tell you, well, I read maybe once or twice a week Bible for 5 minutes. And during your talk, you figure it out and you say like, okay, come on, let's start reading every day, like 3 to 5 minutes Bible. And the mentee say, yeah, I'm fine with that. So then you will put this as a homework in for your mentee for your next session and say, when we will meet again, then let's have a talk and see how this went. How many days and how many weeks you should wait till you do your next mentee talk? This is something, it depends on your timeline. But what I would recommend, don't make it much longer than 3 to 4 weeks. It is sometimes, if it is too long, the distance, they will push their homework far away, far away, far away. And then it will be like already you will forget all the stuff you were talking with. So this is my recommendation. Just keep it around 3 weeks. But sometimes we also have like topics where we say, wow, that was an emergency because there was a fight, for example, between two leaders and the process is still going on and they need some healing and whatever. So in this case, it could happen even that you say, we had our talk today, let's talk next week and we see how things went. And then you will do this after 1 week and you will just have a follow-up talk about that. And this is something you as a commander or as a mentor, you have to decide by yourself how long will be the distance, but don't make it too long. Once you want to train something, please stay on board with that, okay? For the end of the video, I would like to give you some ideas. How can you document everything what you're talking with your mentee. So first of all, there is the good old paper. And I told you there are some documents you can download. So there will be definitely some things where you can just, put all your data in there. But there is another way also, especially when we are talking about homework, what will be quite helpful. And this is even using a messenger. So just texting the person after that and say, you are reading 5 minutes every day your Bible, and sending them this out. So this will be easy for you. The next time when you catch up with him, you can look fast in your phone and then you see like, hey, 4 weeks before, okay, we said 5 minutes reading Bible, and then you find the homework quite fast again. So do this and document everything what you're talking, especially when you are having in the end like 6, 7, 8 people who you are mentoring. We are now in the end of this video, and I hope really that this will help you starting up mentoring your leaders and really coaching them, bringing them forward. And we will try really, to give you as much as possible material. Also, I believe there will be soon a follow-up workshop where I will also share with you much more techniques, what you can use during your mentor talk, but we didn't want to squeeze this all into one video. So now you have already a good start where you can start relaxed, but then we're looking forward to produce the next videos about this topic. So all in all, I wish you now a good time, and we are happy for your feedback. Have a great time and enjoy your first mentoring talk. See you in the next video.
Thank you for watching this video. We hope it helps you to build up a strong outpost. If you find the content valuable, please like and subscribe to our channel. Another way to support our work with fall rangers in Thailand and internationally is by donating. You'll find the link in the description down below. We appreciate your support and looking forward to seeing you in our future videos.